I do a lot of business in the luxury market. I have a lot of entrepreneurs, and they are not that typical W-2 employee. Can you help those self-employed individuals? What would you do for them? Hey, Jules. Well, I never actually, hold on, I gotta adjust the mic, make sure you adjust your mic. Never thought I would be sitting across from you in this kind of situation. Real estate agent to loan officer, I always thought it would be teacher to teacher.
Lift your mic up a little bit.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Teacher. Yeah, I always thought we'd be talking about public education.
Yeah, here we are talking about the mortgage industry and real estate. So here we are. Well, hey, I know how wonderful you are, but I just have one question for you. What makes you so different from other loan officers out there?
What makes me different?
Yeah, what makes you different?
I would say what makes me different is that I have great organizational skills. I am a problem solver, and I also am great with communication.
Organizational skills. Can we bring you back to when you were 16 years old and what your room looked like? Does your desk look anything like that today? Sorry, I just have to bring that up.
I don't remember what I was supposed to say. Oh, yes. Well, after after going to grad school, I had no choice but to learn how to be organized, or I wasn't going to succeed.
That is true. I do remember you coming home with stacks and stacks of files with sticky notes all over the place. So you did. I'll give you that credit. You did become a little bit more organized when you went to grad school. But how does that translate into the mortgage industry?
Well, for people that don't know, I was a first grade teacher.
That is right.
And so if you have children, you understand that you have to be organized. You have to have a lot of patience and communication.
So true. I have 3 of you. Yes, you gave me a run for my money.
How that translates into the mortgage industry is a lot of patience. And I went from holding hands from children to holding hands to adults. And I have found a love for first-time homebuyers. I love the educational aspect in teaching first-time homebuyers the loan process and the home buying process.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can agree there is nothing more rewarding than helping that person through that first process. Like I love handing the keys over to that first time home buyers when they know that they are no longer renting, that they are actually the owners of the house.
Yeah, there really is nothing better than watching them go at the beginning of the process. They're so anxious. They have a lot of balls of anxiety. They don't know why I need their documentation. They don't know what to do, so on and so forth. And by the very end, they're so excited to be purchasing their home and move into something they finally own themselves.
I know that you have a love for first-time home buyers. But do you do any other types of loans there at SurePath?
Yeah, at SurePath, we can do all types of loans. We do refinances, we do conventional, we do our FHA governmental, we do our VA, our veteran loans.
Oh, yeah. And we have veterans in our family.
Yes, we do.
We have my dad, or your grandpa, and Uncle Mike. We're both Korean War vets. And Uncle Angelo, who is a World War II vet, is just about to turn 103 years old next week. So shout out to Uncle Angelo on that milestone birthday.
Yes, 103. Yes. So with them, I just love also doing the VA loans, making sure we give back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, at SurePath, we can do all types of loans.
So I have a question for you. I do a lot of business in the luxury market. That's another passion of mine. I'm on both sides of the spectrum, but there's first-time home buyers do hold a very special spot in my heart. With those luxury buyers, I have a lot of entrepreneurs, and they are not that typical W-2 employee, if you will. Can you help those self-employed individuals? What would you do for them?
Yeah, so not every loan is the same. So
Right.
we do have a lot of people that come through that aren't your typical W-2 employees, and there are a lot of different programs that we can do. We have bank statement loans.
So you do bank
yes,
statement loans.
we do. We have a lot of different options in payment plans for people to go through.
Yeah, and sometimes those can be quite difficult. So the
It
fact
can
that you
be.
have some problem solving skills there is definitely helpful. So basically, what I hear is if I have a first time home buyer, if I have an anxious buyer, which I do have a lot of anxious buyers in this market right now
Mhm.
with with the lack of inventory that we have out there, or a problem that I can come to SurePath or I can come to you. You've
Yeah.
helped me out a lot
Yes.
recently, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Anyone you have, you can send over here, and I'll make sure that we get them through as smooth as possible
Well, you
with as
better, or you don't
little
get,
hiccups.
yeah. If you better get me through those. So
Yeah, you know where I live, so.
yes, and you know where I live, so I'll try to be nice to you. Well, it has been really wonderful talking to you about this. Again, like this is just really, really weird. We always used to talk about being in the classroom and working with different children at different ages and sharing some of our funny and horror stories, right?
Mhm.
But now sitting here across with being an agent myself and you being a lender, it's just I'm really glad to have the opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, I'm happy to. It's been good to see you more often
Yeah.
and be spending time. Well, one last question.
Okay.
So, from a loan officer, what do you think the most important characteristic is for your lender? You've been in the industry for a while now, and I know you've had a lot of different good and bad experiences. So, what do you think the most important is?
Well, first, I want to thank you for that question because we don't get asked that question quite often. And if I had to rank what you had said to me before, because you had mentioned that your organizational skills and your problem solving skills. Well, if I had to rank those, I would say communication is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is organization. And number three is that problem solving skills. You know, I know that if you didn't have the answer to a question, that there are multitudes of individuals here at SurePath that I have confidence in that can find the answer to that question. So that's why I rank that probably at the bottom. But the top is communication. That is so essential. Listen, I don't need your sales pitch. I just need confidence that you and I are on the same page and we want the same goal, and it's to get that loan closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If my buyer is not turning over the documents that they need, the necessary documents, pick up that phone, give me a call, let me know, tell me what I can do to maybe push that buyer along to get those documents in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a listing agent. I do a lot more listings than I do buyers. And as a listing agent, I can assure you, I pay very, very close attention to that lender when that pre approval letter comes across, right? I want to know that that transaction's going to close because my fiduciary duties are to my seller.
Mm-hmm.
And if that lender is able to keep me in the loop too, granted, sometimes they're not able to, but if they are, I'm paying very close attention to that. So communication, communication, communication. And organization, absolutely, because I want that home to close in 30 days.
Yeah.
If your files are all over your desk and papers spewed everywhere, and you don't know what my buyer needs to turn in before closing, we're not going to get closed on time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Well, great conversation.
Yes.
Why not we can go grab a coffee after this and that's it. So we're all done here, right? All right. So if you like what you hear, then why don't you subscribe to Instagram
No.
and
No, no, no.
well, you
If
get
you
on.
like what you hear, please follow on Instagram and subscribe. If you don't follow, you don't subscribe
Why
on
don't you follow? You
Instagram.
subscribe on
No.
Instagram.
So if you
Well, pay attention to her.
follow on Instagram, and if you like what you hear, follow along and drop in the comments what you would like us to talk about next time.
Yeah, and she's the one who's got the phone attached to her hip all the time, so she's probably the best one to get in contact with when you don't subscribe to Instagram.
No.
No, I thought you subscribed to Instagram.
No.
Okay.